hoping that I fixed it and that people people comment. Let's see. Alright, here we go.
Straight on ramp to I-90 West New York State Thruway.
Giddy up. Let's go.
4.7 miles ahead. Use the left 2 lanes and stay on I-90 West.
Okay, hopefully I think some chat this time. Hopefully people can chat in there and it'll pop up. I was wondering why I didn't see anything on the screen. Maybe we got it fixed. I like the windshield.
bundle and save on insurance.
We just did a high wind warning area, so we'll play it by ear. It can't be as bad as it was yesterday. I couldn't hardly hold it in the lane yesterday. We shall see. My company actually had 2 trucks that were overturned the day before yesterday in Ohio because of high winds. Jumping on here now, just now joining in, or if you are coming in later to watch this after we've been live, thanks so much. I just tried this one time just to see if people actually like, just watching along, driving along, especially through some pretty country. Like right now we're coming into the Allegheny Mountains, and going to be coming into Pennsylvania and then Ohio. But anyway, I just wanted to try it out and see, just like a trial thing. A lot of you know that I'm not doing the ghost hunting anymore since the house fire and losing all my ghost hunting equipment. And then here recently I made some changes and decided that I wanted to get back into trucking after taking about a 7 or 8 year break, and now here I am, about 4 months into it, and loving it. Consistently doing miles and getting that time in. But anyway, guys, we're headed from Buffalo to just outside of Columbus to an area called Lancaster, Ohio, and then we're going to from there. Who knows? Our load doesn't drop until tomorrow. We'll be there today here in just a little while, and I just wanted to try out the live stream over here. If you're gonna like this, if you want to keep watching this stuff, I am going to be doing another channel called Urban's Antiques and Uniques, and that's what we're going to be doing. We'll be, life over the road trucking, and while we're out, maybe hunting for some antiques and stuff through the flea markets, antique shops, stuff like that, and then sharing that, and sharing out some pretty neat places, and just basic trucking life. In the description I put a link to that new channel. Like I said, there's no content on it yet. I'm working on it, so I'll have some content up there later on, hopefully in the next couple weeks. So I do invite you to subscribe to that and watch that. Those videos will be a lot of this. We'll do a lot of this live trucking also. Be sure to watch for that. And we're definitely going to have some good eats along the way as well.
Spring, the unofficial new year for tool people. Celebrate spring savings at Harbor Freight. straight Earth. And that's the whole Earth, whatever time zone. Welcome. This is Midnight in the Desert, and I'm Art Bell. And tonight, baby, it's all you. All of you. That's right. Anybody who wants to get in tonight can get in, and I'm about to tell you how. Only 2 rules to our show. No bad language. Don't need it. And only 1 call per show. Okay. Let us thank everybody. Telos for the great sound. And oh, it is great, too. Let me tell you. Telos and Joe Calvert here in Toronto. What are the odds of the big guy in Telos being right here in Toronto? 0, right? But he was here. Here we are. Keep rolling, my everlasting webmaster. Dr. J, producer, all of you, the BellGab website, people love our Bell, the Midnight in the Desert group, a whole bunch of other groups that are springing up. Stream guys, getting it to you, lb.net, getting it to me. And, of course, sales, Peter Everhart, who's like, gotta get some money. So, that's all out of the way. As I said, open lines, anything goes tonight. Now, I have asked for your best paranormal experience, whatever that would be. I've had, a few in my life. And so, that leads me to believe that a lot of you have had them too. So I'm sure you have one that you would like to tell us about, perhaps the scariest or weirdest one, whatever that may be. We're open to it. A couple of items before we get started. Under a microscope, an expert eyes, that wing fragment you've seen so much about lately, is being carefully examined by many. Looking and looking, no clues, well, nothing we have been told about yet, other than it's a, 777 piece. Has to be the one, right? And this news, despite all the bombs we have dropped, actually billions of dollars spent.
Warning, approaching a high risk
10,000
area.
extremist fighters killed. The assessment is the Islamic State, ISIS, is no weaker than it was when we began. So we have bombed them into a stasis, a state of stasis. In Marana, Arizona, the police department there is reporting what they consider to be a ghost in their radio. Now, this is no normal thing. This is officer is saying, somebody is saying, some woman, stop talking to me. Stop talking to me, like a screaming woman. No technical explanation from those who know about that stuff. They checked it out. So, they think it's possibly a ghost in the radio. There are ghosts in the radio, folks. And by the way, on the subject of ghosts, I've got one I want you to see. It's a ghost hunter's catch, and we put it up on artbell.com. Now you're going to have to look very carefully. Look near cannons. That's what I'll tell you. Look near and behind the cannons. You get to see it. Pretty freaky. I'm pretty big on paranormal, as you know. And there's a couple of items here that I think you might want to know about. Real history, stuff verified over the years, really paranormal, stuff science cannot explain at all, but science admits it happened. Events actually that changed history. How about the blessing of the Roman Catholic Church itself? Some encouragement. The miracle of the sun, as it's called, was finally recognized as an actual biblical miracle on 13 October 1930. That's about 20 years after the event itself, and it was a doozy. At about lunchtime on Sunday, October 13th, 1970, the little town of Fátima, Portugal, thousands gathered beneath storm clouds, which were interrupted by an opaque, spinning disc in the sky,
Yep.
which then blasted a dazzling ray of light down upon the onlookers, many of whom claimed to have
Getting
seen the
closer.
apparition of the Blessed Virgin Mary in it. Well, it really happened, folks. It was viewed by somewhere between 30,000 and 100,000 people of varying ages, and has since been confirmed as a miracle by the Roman Catholic Church.
Man, I'm ready to get
Despite some
stopped.
theories about
Stretch my
space
legs.
dust, probably swamp gas, bits of light, things people say, nobody has explained all that we saw. And then there's one more I thought I'd lay on you. To most time travel fantasies that involve changing history is more often than not somebody dying.
Oh, it's really, really hard to try to see that chat.
Dying or something.
I will go back
And of course,
through
history
after I get
changes,
stopped, and I will look at all the
Somebody
chat.
dies, you're removing a person's decisions and your actions all from the world. Which is why the poltergeist curse. Remember the
I'm going to
movie
try to figure
Poltergeist,
something
right?
out, though, if I
The
keep
girl
doing these lives,
sort of
like trucking
Lying
lives,
at the television
videos.
set, you remember that movie.
I'll try to figure something out where I can actually
Ineffable effect.
glance in the chat while I'm driving.
Most poltergeist curse.
That way I can kind of see what everybody's saying.
And now
I've got a tablet going, but of course, I'm streaming Art Bell's Midnight in the Desert. But I'm hoping that maybe I can figure out on that tablet how to be able to see the live chat. At least on snow off the roof of that truck. Hopefully I'll be able to figure it out. That way I can look at the chat while we're going along in the future.
The very first movie, and since then, an unexplained curse has claimed the lives of most of the main cast in violent and tragic circumstances, and even the novelization writer was killed in a car crash. A few things to think about. All right, now you're going to get the phone lecture, and then we'll break before you come back, and it's all yours tonight, really all yours. I'm serious. I enjoy these nights perhaps more than any other, simply because it's human, because it's open lines, and because I don't know what's coming and I don't screen calls. So here comes the how to sound better in the digital age lecture. We've got a very good phone system here, so if you call in on the phone, try and use a landline. If you can't use a landline, try and use a cell phone that has 5 bars lit up. And if you can't do that, then listen to the best we can. Now beyond that, we have, and of course we have a public number. Let me give it to you. It's area code 952. I want to write this down. 952 225 5278. 952 5278. That's the public number. There's plenty of lines, so you've got a chance to get through it now. Number 2, Skype. In the digital age, boy, can you sound good on Skype? If you've got a headset mic on a computer, you actually hooked it up on Skype and set it, it's going to sound like $1 million. It's going to sound like you're sitting in the studio. But if you don't have a computer, no problem. If you have a smartphone, boy, are you in business. It's an iPhone.
It turned out to actually be a pretty decent morning. When I woke up this morning in Seneca Falls, it was spitting snowflakes. And then once I got rolling down the thruway, I got about an hour down the road, almost into Buffalo. And I'm still tired, so I pulled over and took about an hour and a half nap.
All you've got to do is
To complete a 2-hour short break, and went back to sleep, got up, and then when I got up, there and dusting the snow on the ground. And it looked like it was just going to let loose. And then here we are. The sun's starting to peek out a little bit behind us. And I'm guessing and I'm hoping the further west we go, the warmer the temperature will get. But I don't know. We'll check it out when we get there, huh?
And it will dial us up and go at the sound. There's no lead up. So these are the tips for sounding really spiffy in the digital age. Oh, by the way, I was on the air with Tom Lucas for about an hour earlier. Hey, that was pretty fun. And we talked about radio and we had a good time. Now it's our turn.
It wasn't too cold yesterday in Avon, Massachusetts, and then going into New York where we went to the paper mill. It was a little cool, but it wasn't cold. But it wasn't anything as warm as it was in Virginia a couple days ago when it was like 75 degrees.
Robert. Wait. Get good and close to where your microphone is on your computer. Yeah, that's good, right in here? Yes, right in there. You looking at me, or am I just on the phone? No, you're just on the phone. I mean, I can see your picture. Okay. Right. Okay, so what's up?
I just sent you an email a couple of days ago about Pine Gap. I wonder whether you read that.
I don't think I have, so tell me.
Well, basically, I was up there in 1967, and I'd hired a hired a mini moke. I don't know if you know them. They're tiny little Jeep like cars. And I was out in the desert. We were going to a place called Eagle Gap, and all of a sudden the car conked out. And I thought, oh, it feels like the battery's gone, but couldn't find the battery. I opened up the front, not there. So
You couldn't find the battery?
well, no. I'll continue and you'll find out why.
Okay.
I've been there looking around, and a car pulls up behind me, and a big guy about 6'3", quite wide, gets out. Says, "What's the trouble?" I said, "Oh, I can't find the battery." He says, "Oh, and these things, they're behind the left-hand rear wheel in the frame." Sure enough, it was.
Really?
Yeah. So anyway, I put the wires on. He said, "Oh, there's a pub just up the road, as there is everywhere in Australia." He said, "Let's go and have a drink." So we did, and we got chatting. And this is 1967, they were hippie days. We got into some pretty esoteric type stuff. And he says to me, "Well, I work at Pine Gap." I'm like, "Wow, you know, but tell me. So anyway, he was telling me that he was, what they call him, he's the sort of guy that hires people.
What is Pine Gap?
Pine Gap is an American base in Central Australia near Alice Springs.
Yes, okay.
They started building, I think, in the 50s. One of the first things they built there was a Tesla coil, so maybe that's some clue. Anyway, he told me that he worked at Pine Gap, but because he was Australian, he could only get down as far as a level 8. He said went right down. And he told me that they were messing about with anti-gravity.
This is level 8 below ground.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay. At our gravity.
that's what he said. Yeah.
You know, it figures if we really had anti-gravity, we'd probably take it to Australia.
Upside down, we'd be down under. So anyway, he told me that the technology came from crashed UFOs, which is, he basically told me the Roswell story, but in his case, they crashed somewhere between Russia and China. Sounds weird, but
Not so much really. I've often thought there must have been crashes elsewhere.
Right. Well, this is 67, so I don't think the Roswell story came out until the 70s. Was it 72 or something like that?
Oh, no, it was out in 45.
Oh, okay. Anyway, he told me the story, and he said there were beings involved who were, and these are his exact words, they were roughly 4 foot 8 inches high, with very thin vertebrae, which suggested they came from somewhere with a gravity less than ours.
Sure.
And I thought that was really interesting. A couple of nights later, I had a meal or a barbecue actually in the creek there with him and 2 other guys who were from America.
Yes.
They told me that they arrived on these great planes that they come into Alice Springs quite regularly, Starliners, I believe they're called, and that they sort of moved into almost a replica of their own house there on the base. And that our government didn't even know they were there, and But I just, like, this is 1967, I just wondered, I'd be really interested if you could interview someone who sort of maybe knew more of what's going on there these days.
Well, did you stay in touch with this guy?
You did, right? I then split up with the lady I was with at that time, and I had no contact. His name was Mac. That's all I recall.
Mac. Well, that'll make it easy. Mac, that you met in a bar. What makes you think that it was just more than 2 guys sitting around drinking, talking?
He had no reason to sort of tell me lies. It was him and his lady and myself and my lady, and we were talking for a little while before this occurred. And you know, particularly when we had the barbecue with him 2 nights later, and the same stuff was still being talked about. I really don't think he was lying to me.
Gotcha. All right, I really appreciate that story. What do you think, folks? Sounded like a legit recitation of the story. That doesn't in first person, but yeah, you know, if we had something like that, that?
Not at all, that's me. How you doing, Eric?
Very
bad.
Oh, it's great to be back.
Well, first off, I just wanted to tell you, I discovered today that the TuneIn app is also on the Xbox One, so I have it going on there loud and clear.
Oh, yeah, I had forgotten about that. How could I do it? My daughter has an Xbox One, which she is on constantly. And so, yeah, I had heard that we're actually on Xbox One, so, we're on everything but a toaster.
Well, who knows, maybe soon, right?
Soon.
As far as the story goes, I don't know if you remember, but the last show we did on Spooky Matter, where you were with Sirius,
Yes.
my wife, Stella, had gotten through to you and had discussed the house we lived in where the knives were coming out of the sheets on the counter into the floor by my feet.
I kind of remember that, yes.
Right, and she had found the, I guess I should say the, but she was the one who
Well, I guess you
found
can
all
tell the
back
wind's
and
bad
found
when the birds are flying
bones and
sideways.
the teeth and the 150-year-old money back there. So yeah, there's that whole situation where we've since moved from that house.
Don't blame you.
No, it got a little much, to be honest with you. But as I reflect upon things in life, that isn't really the first instance of that that's happened. I remember when I was really young, we're talking between the ages of 2 and 5 here. I remember a distinct smell of bacon, eggs, and coffee. Now, the reason I say that is because I lived with myself, my older sister, and my 2 parents.
I remember that too. Everybody pretty much has bacon, eggs, coffee in the morning, right?
But see, nobody ever did.
Oh, well, that's a problem.
That was never cooked. And at the same house, again, this is when I was very young.
Well, that bacon, eggs, and coffee they use now?
Yes.
That was obviously from a prior tenant who had died violently in your room.
and they just kept having to cook over and over and over again.
Sorry.
It's all right. But in that same house, 2 more things of note for that house. Up on the top level in the bathroom, my sister was hanging, she was 9 years older than me, so she was still pretty short. She was hanging shower curtains with the hooks and everything, and she was standing on a stool. And my mom, I saw this, and I have a fairly vivid memory of it. My mother was also there and insists that my memory is not mistaken, that she got thrown across the room into the wall, which was about 8 feet away from the shower curtain.
Oh, see, now that's way into the paranoid.
Yes. Yeah. And I remember a lot of people having weird dreams there, but the only other thing of real note before we moved out is when you would go up and down the stairs, you could hear
So it's fair to say you haven't had a lot of luck with houses.
well, I guess not, no. Either that or I'm very lucky and get to experience those things depending on how you want to look at it.
So how's the house you live in now?
We live in a high-rise apartment just outside of Minneapolis, and we have no whatsoever as of yet.
Way to go, sir. All right, thank you very much for the story. And good luck with your future stay. Going to Iowa City, Iowa on the phone. Hello there.
Hi there, how's it going?
It's going really well, thank you.
Good. This story happened to me in December of 1997, and I have to tell you, I have tried to call you on the radio ever since, mostly on the ghost. So glad to finally get a hold of you.
Here you are.
Well, like I said, this happened about sometime in December of 1997. I was back on Christmas break in college, and I was at my girlfriend's house. She lived about, 10 miles from me in a very wooded, rural area. And I would go hang out with her until pretty late in the evening, and I would go home. But because it was winter, it was so Okay, so that's what I was doing. I went out, started my car, the headlights came on, and she had like some pine trees, off to the side of her house, and the headlights were hidden. And as I was getting ready to step out of my car, I saw movement in the pine tree. Now this was like 2 in the morning, so very dark, and snow, thick snow on the ground. And
Wow. I know the wind lifting the whole side of the truck.
a woman came out from behind the pine tree, and she was distraught. I remember she had long brown hair, and she was wearing like a nightgown or a robe of some kind, very thin, obviously not dressed for the weather. And as she was walking towards me, I noticed she was barefoot.
In the snow and the ice.
And there's no holes, and it was very, very cold.
Okay, listen.
And my
Listen to me. Hold on.
sure.
You got barefoot